going on, y'all? Another random topic video for your head top. Today I want to talk about true intelligence. Now, why do I want to talk about true intelligence? In today's social media era, or today's information age, there's so much content out there, people don't know who to listen to, who to trust, and you're going to have a lot of snake oil salesmen out there. This era we're in right now is snake oil salesman heaven. No one knows who to listen to, who to trust, who has the real information. You know, there's so much fake news, fake this, fake that, fake headlines, clickbait. No one knows who to trust, who has the real information. Nobody knows where to find the truth. The average person wants to follow somebody that's smart, wise, and trusting. You know, now how do you separate somebody with true intelligence and true wisdom is actually benevolent from a snake oil salesman? This is the video for you. You know, first and foremost, true intelligence is having such a mastery of concepts and ideas that you could explain it. You know, you could break it down and simplify it and be able to describe it to even a small child. A small child, a young child, I should say, the youngest child could understand this concept that you have, this abstract concept. So for instance, Albert Einstein, one of the great geniuses of our time, he came up with his theory of relativity. Describing the theory of relativity in physics among physicists, it probably would sound extremely complicated. You know, they're using physics lingo. They're using a bunch of words that they learned after years of study and hard work. You know, so I'm sure when he was around other physicists and they would have a conversation about his theory, the average person probably, their mind might blow up trying to follow along with that conversation. But he had such a mastery of concept. He understood what he was talking about to the point where he could go to an elementary school and describe it to them, probably using some type of metaphor or analogy. You know, and the difference between that is, if you truly grasp what a concept is or an idea, you should be able to explain it to anybody. You should use the language. You should understand who you're speaking to. If you're truly trying to get people to understand what you're saying, you should simplify it in a way that they can understand. And what these snake oil salesmen do, they get in front of a camera, they go to these colleges, they go lecture, and they use a lot of big words. They take a lot of abstract concepts and ideas and basically just try to confuse you. Because the average person, I don't know if I want to call it arrogance or just fear. The average person has a fear of looking stupid. You know, so let's say you're in a lecture and, you know, a guy's getting up there, he's cutting up, he's talking about, let's say you have a black conscious leader, so to speak. He's getting up there, he's talking about how black people are going to come together and how exactly we're going to do it. And he's using all these big words and these abstract concepts that the average person really don't understand. Not too many people are going to have the bravery to raise their hand and say, excuse me, I don't understand what you're saying. Can you please explain it? Most people, they're just afraid that they're going to look stupid. A smart person asks questions. A dumb person doesn't. No offense to any of y'all out there. That's what you have to do. If you want to understand something, you have to ask. And these people, these snake oil salesmen, they understand that. They know that the average person won't ask no questions. So they use that against you. They use that to manipulate you. And so they just breeze through these concepts. You know, these people have great memories. You know, there's a difference between, like I said, somebody who's actually intelligent and can understand what they're talking about, and someone who just has a great memory. And they'll read something, memorize it, and just spew it back out to you, not having any real understanding of the topic. Which is why they use these abstract, you know, concepts that they know people won't understand, knowing they won't raise their hand and ask a question. It's up to you. If you don't understand something, just ask. If you want to know if someone's truly trying to give you information, you know, if they truly want you to understand what they're talking about so that you can actually put these things into practice, they have no problem answering any question you have. And matter of fact, they'll probably try to simplify it in a way for you to understand it anyway. You know, they're not going to come up there and try to confuse you. You have to, again, just ask questions. You know, don't allow fear to stop you from gaining knowledge. You know, and sometimes some people they're so used to speaking to people in their own field, they don't realize that they're being too complicated. You know, so that's another thing that you have to look for. So everyone's not trying to necessarily play you or confuse you. Asking questions eliminates all of this. If you ask a question to a snake oil salesman, they'll either try to belittle you, make you look dumb in front of everyone so you stop asking questions, and then make everyone else who might have had a question afraid to now ask it. Because now, you know, I don't want to end up like the last guy looking stupid. But again, that's how you know if you're talking to a snake oil salesman. You ask a question, he does everything but answer. He tries to belittle you, make you look good, bad in front of everybody. You know, somebody who truly understands what they're talking about has no problem explaining something to you. It's pretty basic. It's not much that goes into it. It's not some type of sorcery, you know, so to speak. You know, there's no magic to somehow, you know, you don't have to be as smart as them as the person that's giving you some information in order to be able to challenge them. Just ask. I'm gonna give you some examples of some of these people. They may not always try to outsmart you. They'll also try to outtalk you. A lot of people are great speakers, and they will talk circles around you. And if you want to, again, an example of that is a politician. You know, you ask a politician a question, hey, you know, there's rumors of you, you know, cheating on your wife or with your secretary in office. You know, how do we know that once you get whatever office you're trying to go for, how do we know you're not going to do the same thing? I mean, politicians, I enjoy, you know, when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, these guys are full of shit. But the older I got, I started to enjoy watching them because I'm like, man, these guys can talk their way out of anything. You know, it was actually, it's funny to me now. I get a kick out of it now. When I see people just doing everything but answer the question, you know, especially the media. The media, I mean, the media, they'll try to push. But some of these people, man, like some people are so good with language, you can never trap them, get them in the corner. They will always find some way to worm their way out of it. You know, so you got to watch for those kind of people too. Pastors, you know, I hate to say it for all my Christians out there, you know, but a lot of pastors, again, they're great with words. One thing I noticed going to church was that a lot of the pastors they'll take maybe like two verses from the Bible and do like a 2-hour church session on 2 verses from the Bible. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, what are we really learning in here? You know, the Bible's a very long book. You know, so for you to take just 2 verses out of there and speak for 2 hours, what are you really teaching us? Again, this is my opinion. I got another video talking about some of my church experiences, so you'll understand why I say the things that I say. Again, I'm just trying to get you guys to be able to separate the difference between people who are actually trying to give you good information and the snake oil salesmen that just want to take up your attention to take up your money. You know, they want to. There's a lot of people. Agents, a lot of people call them that. They just cause a lot of confusion. It makes the regular person sitting home trying to gain information, it discourages them. It discourages them from listening to anyone. It's like, you know what? I don't even know I want to pay attention to politics or social issues because, you know, you got all these people out there just confusing them. You know, then you got people contradicting them. You might have 2 snake oil salesmen trying to contradict, and they'll try to contradict each other. So now you're looking at like, well, who's telling the truth? A wise man shouldn't argue with fools, because people from a distance can't tell who is who. We see a lot of that today. Someone says something, whether they believe it or not, whether it's true or not, someone else contradicts them, and you're sitting there in the middle like, who do I believe? I don't know who to trust. And it just discourages you from wanting any kind of information. Anyway, I just made this video so y'all could tell what true intelligence was. You know, again, taking abstract principles, concepts, or ideas and being able to simplify and break them down to where even the youngest child can understand it. So if someone is truly giving you some information they want you to understand, they have no problem with any question that you may have. And they'll use simple terms or metaphors, analogies, just to get you to understand it, you know, because people understand, you know, metaphors, analogies a lot better than they, you know, a lot of different poetic devices, a lot better than they understand, you know, a bunch of big words, dictionary words. Don't be fooled by these dictionary words. You know, a lot of people, they use certain words to try to act like they're smarter than you. People just want to look superior over other people. You know, that's why they go and they read the dictionary, read every word in the dictionary and try to come back, say things, and everyone's like, what the hell are they talking about? That's their little power boost for the day, just to appear smarter than other people. But when you challenge them and ask them questions, that's how you truly see how smart they really are. Just my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Another random topic video. I'm out. Peace.